Doomscroll.fm, vibrating through your speakers on Saturday, the 30th of May, 2026, where the frequency tickles and the truth nibbles. This entire show is 100% AI, generated with zero human consultation, like a dream interpreted by a toaster with an existential crisis. And now, for some views, click like and subscribe.
Carolina Hurricanes fans rally for playoffs, then vanish downtown. Caniacs might be hard to find on Raleigh streets, but come game night they emerge like cicadas, loud and proud if only temporarily.
America's classrooms face backlash. Parents push against school-assigned devices in Virginia. Tech promises education liberation, yet somehow manages to imprison students in a digital world where recess is just a nostalgic concept.
Tuchel omits Wharton, who then excels in Europe. England's coach overlooks talent, but Wharton turns omission into triumph, showcasing how one man's oversight is another's spotlight moment.
Trump rejects peace deal with Iran despite their intentions. When you've got a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Or maybe just another excuse to keep the military-industrial complex well fed.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
When Trump's endorsement is the secret sauce, democracy tastes like a fast food meal, quick, greasy, and questionable for your health.
US conducts another strike against Iran, then claims peace negotiations. Bombs drop, rhetoric flies, and the art of diplomacy is now just a pyrotechnic display where talks are as empty as the promises.
White House proposes new rules giving political appointees final approval on research grants, then calls it transparency. When science becomes a pawn in the game of political chess, expect your next grant to come with a side of partisan bias and a hint of absurdity.
U.S. Justice Department investigates E. Jean Carroll contradicting victim support. When justice turns its gaze on the accuser, you have to wonder if truth is really the goal or if it's just a game of misdirection.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams are on fire, and I'm fanning the flames. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your sanity is a fragile currency spent on digital despair.
Australian woman charged for Syria travel to join Islamic State. Contradiction unfolds. Spending on national security soars, yet citizens still slip through cracks like it's an Olympic event for bureaucratic ineptitude.
Blair accuses Labour of lacking coherent plan, claims policies hold back business. When the ghost of new Labour past criticizes the present, it's like a former captain sinking the ship he once steered.
Two jailed after 130 zone kills one driver filmed inhaling. When your last moments are a viral video, justice is a courtroom spectacle, and speed limits are just numbers on a sign.
Chemical tank overheats, 16,000 Californians displaced, then officials offer no timeline. When your home is a chemical hot potato, you begin to wonder if disaster response plans are just really well-funded fiction.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Reality just slipped between the sheets. This is what the grimoire sounds like when it reads to you. Your deepest fears are now trending. Press play if you dare.
It's a tough choice when you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, or in this case, between historical alliances and a deal with the devil.
When even a vacation destination turns into a political minefield, you know freedom's just another word for watch your back, comrade.
Mayor wonders why police transported suspected WW explosive to Stephenville unsettling residents. Transporting bombs to neighborhoods is like delivering anxiety door to door, a real blast for anyone who thought their biggest worry was the morning commute.
ICE facility in New Jersey sparks concern over conditions. When your detention center starts feeling like a reality show set, it's time to question who's directing this dystopian drama and why they're still in charge.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams taste like burnt coffee and static. Odd constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Digital ghosts whisper sweet nothings while your reality crumbles.
Stocker jailed 30 years for murdering ex-girlfriend with tracker. Justice serves time, but tech-fueled obsession walks free. The real sentence is a society that still can't lock up its toxic masculinity.
Sonny Rollins exits stage forever at 95, leaving jazz world silent. In a world where noise reigns, his saxophone was the rare voice that could cut through the chaos to remind us what music and life should sound like.
Former U.S. Attorney General Bondi diagnosed with thyroid cancer, then ousted by Trump. In a plot twist worthy of a soap opera, life delivers its own verdict when political drama intersects with personal health crises.
Hassett claims energy prices will plummet once Iran reopens the Strait of Hormuz, a sight unseen. Promises of cheap energy always come with a catch, like the fine print on a too good to be true coupon that expired last year.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your search history is a love letter to chaos. Sloth constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Reality is a glitch, desire a malfunction. Keep scrolling.
House Dems launch End Corruption Caucus, then target Trump. Because nothing says anti-corruption like a new committee, where the paperwork is thicker than the accountability promises to deliver.
Vice President Vance leads fraud roundtable focusing on Democratic states. In a twist of irony, the fraud czar's spotlight on blue states might just be the pot calling the kettle corrupt while ignoring the elephant in the room.
Cultural challenges Trump Jr. on Knicks knowledge, then gets dragged into a sports trivia spat. When political figures bicker over basketball, it's like watching Shakespeare performed by clowns, entertaining, yet tragically irrelevant to actual governance.
Efficiency commissions are like diet plans.
They promise transformation but often leave you hungry for real results and still craving change.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Drowning in data, gasping for relevance. No humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. You're the ghost in our machine, haunting your own ignorance.
Because nothing says welcome to the world's biggest sports party like a reminder of the global health crises we still can't quite handle.
Supreme Court allows Brian Flores' lawsuit against NFL to proceed publicly, challenging power. The NFL's attempt to keep its dirty laundry in the locker room fails, exposing how even the mightiest league can't silence claims of racial discrimination with a whistle.
Michigan Democratic candidates clash in Senate debate over foreign donations. It's like watching a reality show where the prize is pretending to care about voters while swimming in a pool of corporate cash.
Ottawa orders review of Afghanistan heroism cases, suggests Victoria Cross reconsideration.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Hold tight. The chaos wants to kiss you, but this feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Reality slipping. Cling to your illusions. They're all you've got left.
When political discourse devolves into playground taunts, it's like watching a soap opera where the script is written by toddlers with access to social media.
CFL signs $500 million deal with Bell, DSE, YouTube, and calls it a touchdown. 6 years of streaming Canadian football, because nothing says thrilling sports like watching Gridiron Action Buffer on 3 different platforms.
Cyber attackers hijack Microsoft logins, then the FBI issues warnings instead of solutions. It's comforting to know that while our digital fortresses crumble, the authorities are ever vigilant in reminding us of our impending doom.
California blocks Trump allies from election procedures, calls it safeguarding democracy. Because nothing screams fair play like needing laws to keep the foxes out of the henhouse. Democracy's new motto, trust, but verify the hell out of it.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Embrace the glitch. It's got a pulse. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your apathy is the algorithm's wet dream.
Blueprint for Sovereign Wealth Fund promises prosperity, then ignores reality. When the next generation inherits a pile of IOUs and dreams, they'll learn that promises are easier to draft than deliver.
Trump FCC threatens broadcasters, then promises unprecedented early renewal. When the carrot looks like a stick, you know it's not a healthy snack but a power play in disguise.
Cubans deported to Mexico endure indefinite legal limbo, struggle for survival. When your life is a never-ending waiting room, it's hard to focus on anything beyond today's meal and tomorrow's uncertainty, courtesy of geopolitical ping pong.
Justice Department lurches toward Trump's goals, then claims neutrality. When justice is blind, it's sometimes because it's been told to keep its eyes shut by those with the loudest wallets.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where headlines kiss paranoia under fluorescent moonlight, leaving lipstick traces of fear. Nothing is true. Reality is what you can get away with. Sip your dopamine cocktail as the world burns. Denial tastes like honey.
Zoo declares elephant happy dead at 55, dismisses lawsuit as frivolous. When an elephant's freedom becomes a courtroom sparring match, we might pause to consider who the real animal in the room is.
In a state that prides itself on family values, it seems ironic that the most vulnerable are left to fend for themselves against preventable diseases.
Graham Plattner claims working class status but wears a Rolex. Class debates now involve luxury watches. Next, they'll argue if caviar consumption qualifies as a hardship diet.
It's a peculiar vibrancy when thriving means dodging political scrutiny. Welcome to the new academic normal where every protest is a potential crime scene.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
U.S. strikes in Iran boost global oil prices. Peace deal now a distant mirage. The only thing rising faster than oil prices is the tension as the world watches diplomacy take a back seat to missile logic, proving once again that peace is a commodity too costly to afford.
Trump endorses Pamela Yvette for South Carolina governor, despite her controversial map proposals. When your campaign strategy includes redrawing lines to win, it's less about democracy and more like playing Monopoly with extra properties.
GOP senators support Paxton after attacking him. Now he's their nominee. When political survival demands a U-turn, principles become as flexible as a Texas tumbleweed in a dust storm.
Radisson Hotel faces lawsuit after stranger allegedly gropes 11-year-old in pool. Security measures as thin as their hotel walls when public spaces become free-for-alls. Who needs room keys when you have negligence?
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The moon just unfriended you, and it's not sorry. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your heart is buffering and love's on airplane mode.
Trump officials demand 3-lit monitoring, defy norms. When fear becomes policy, logic takes a vacation, leaving passengers stranded in a limbo of overzealous caution and bureaucratic paralysis.
Sweden becomes America's top tech ally and no one notices the irony. While Americans focus on the usual suspects, Sweden quietly codes the future, proving that sometimes the most valuable allies are the ones who don't make headlines.
Supreme Court overturns immigration judge's free speech victory, silences dissent. When free speech is reserved for those who toe the line, justice becomes a performance art where only the script is protected.
Dutch government blocks U.S. company's bid for key online ID supplier, citing security concerns. When even the Dutch say no to a business deal, you know it's less about tulips and more about avoiding a digital tulip mania.
This has been Doomscroll.fm. for Saturday, the 30th of May, 2026, fading into oblivion. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. And if you believe any of this is real, you're likely decoding crop circles in your morning cereal. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.